Hey everybody, Natalie Teston, family law lawyer in Gainesville, Georgia, coming to you today to talk about one of the most crucial pieces of evidence that we use in our contested child custody hearings. The court has to look at the best interest factors that are outlined in OCGA 19-93 when coming up with a custody decision for your children. One of those factors is which party can put their animosity aside and do what's right for the child, who can facilitate and foster a relationship between the child and the other party, who can be the bigger person, essentially. Now, we prove that factor by looking at this crucial piece of evidence, which is communications between the parents. These are text messages, email, social media messages. Sometimes parents are using co-parenting apps that have messages in them. Any type of communication between parents is hugely important in our custody cases. And here's why. These, essentially, by reading these, put the judge as like a fly on the wall in your world. And they can see what parent is communicating effectively, which parent is the one that's trying to find common ground, that's really trying to seek to understand from the other parent and not using manipulating language, not using belittling language, not being overly controlling. And what parent can't do that? Can't get out of their own way, can't get past feelings of old hurt, and can't look forward in the present and in the future to do what's right for their children. So these text messages and emails, they are crucial because it really shows the judge what's going on when he or she isn't looking. And so it's not so much of a logical leap to think if you're reading really bad communications from a parent where there's name calling, all caps, multiple exclamation points, is it such a weird logical leap to think, I don't know that that parent is not acting that exact same way when the child's around. Of course it's not. There's no judge in America that's going to think, look, you are just toxic fire in communications with that other parent, but as soon as the child's around, it's all rainbows and butterflies and your other parent's great. That doesn't happen. And so don't tattletale on yourself by doing these horrible messages. Let me put it this way. These messages make or break cases. I've seen them. I've tried them. I can tell you this. We send every single client a letter at the outset of the litigation saying, look, from this point forward, be aware you are under the watchful eye of the court. Assume that the judge is right on your shoulder reading the message as you're typing it. Is that judge going to be happy with you or upset with you on how you're communicating with your co-parent there? So here are some tips, right? We can't change the past. All we can do is be better going forward. So when you're having a co-parenting communication moment, first, alert the other parent to whatever the issue is. Hey, basketball tryouts are coming up. Nice alert information. And then ask for input. What do you suggest we do? He played basketball last year and loved it. Want to sign him up again? Ask. Alert to the problem, ask for input. And then 3, if there's any issue where you guys are starting to butt heads, see if you can find some piece of authority. And that way it's not so much parent versus parent. Hey, I understand you have concerns about the fact that there may be travel. Well, look here, this is the coach's flyer. It looks like 80% of the games are at home. The other 20%, let's pull out our calendar and look and see who can be free to take the child before we just say no. What do you think? And then finally, appreciate the input. Thanks for I know we haven't seen eye to eye today, but thanks for being willing to engage in this discussion with me. I know we both want what's best for little Tommy. And if you're the person that gets to make the decision, make the decision. Hey, I think I've heard your side. I appreciate your input. I'm going to be signing him up for basketball. And I continue to hope that we can work together to make this work best for little Tommy. Those are some just really good tips, right? Alert to the problem, ask for input, use some sort of authority to try to break any tie and to take the parent versus parent out of it. And then finally, thanks for the input and alert of the decision. That's really all there is to it. And if you find yourself in a position where you cannot communicate with the other parent without using abusive language or harassing, 4,000 messages when probably 2 would have been fine, all caps, multiple exclamation points, you need to stop and take a good hard look in the mirror. By doing that, you're not doing what's in your child's best interest, and you're actually jeopardizing your parenting time and your decision-making ability with respect to that child in the future. So if you can't be the bigger person because there's so much just junk and trash in the past, I understand that, but it's not healthy, and you can't just wallow in that position. Go seek help. There's tons of divorce support and other sorts of counseling out there, co-parenting counseling. There's all sorts of resources out there to help you get through whatever it is you're going through. You're a good parent. Don't ever let the court wonder about that. Be the bigger person. Do it for your kid. If you can't communicate and leave old past behind, take some initiative. Google individual therapist near me. You'll get a ton of results. Do whatever it takes, always, to protect the interest of your children. And they need their parents to communicate effectively and cooperatively, because they both bring a unique skill set, a unique viewpoint, a unique life experience to the table. That child is perfectly made from the two of you for a reason, and that child needs their parents to communicate. So thanks so much, guys. If you have any more questions, you know where to find us. Coleman Chambers and Rogers, Gainesville, Georgia. Give us a call at 770-534-3770.